The first scripture reading comes from Mark chapter 11, 15 through 17. On reaching Jerusalem, Jesus entered the temple courts and began driving out those who were buying and selling there. He overturned tables of the money changers and the benches of those selling doves, and would not allow anyone to carry merchandise through the temple courts. And as he taught them, he said, "Is it not written, 'My house will be called a house of prayer for all nations,' but you've made it a den of robbers." The second scripture reading comes from Matthew chapter 25, 19 through 30. After a long time, the master of those servants returned and settled accounts with them. The man who had received 5 bags of gold brought the other 5. "Master," he said, "you entrusted me with 5 bags of gold. See, I have gained 5 more." His master replied, "Well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful with a few things. I will put you in charge of many things." The man with 2 bags of gold also came. "Master," he said, "you entrusted me with 2 bags of gold. See, I have gained 2 more." His master replied, "Well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful with a few things. I will put you in charge of many things." Then the man who had received 1 bag of gold came. "Master," he said, "I was afraid and went out and hid your gold in the ground. See, here is what belongs to you." His master replied, "You wicked, lazy servant, for whoever has will be given more, and they will have an abundance. Whoever does not have, even what they have will be taken from them. And throw that worthless servant outside into the darkness, where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth."
There is no doubt, as we begin this holiest of weeks, that our two scriptures, Matthew's parable of the talents and Jesus' overturning of the tables in the temple, are intense moments in the Gospels. In the first text, an indeterminate master ravages and humiliates a slave for not earning a proper return on the money he entrusted to him. And in the second text, Jesus unleashes his rage on the money changers for profiteering from poor pilgrims simply seeking prayers. "You wicked, lazy servant," the master cries in the first story. "How dare you not make even a penny of profit for me, even at a bank? You thieves and robbers," Jesus cries in the second story. "How dare you think of making a penny of profit in God's house of prayer?" I don't know about you, but I'm confused. I don't understand how these stories coexist. Which thing is Jesus gnashing his teeth over? Profit or no profit? And more importantly, how have we managed to so effortlessly marry these conflicting scriptures in ways I doubt we even realize? This, my friends, is American Christian history at its best. And on this day, as we wring our hands over tariff policies, the Dow Jones average, and the price of eggs, this day, as Jesus rides triumphantly into Jerusalem only to die on a cross 5 days later, it's important to clarify where Jesus stands on the subject of money and what we're called to care about in his name. Now, it is said that Billie Holiday co-wrote the song "God Bless the Child" in 1939 after an argument over money with her mother. After loaning her mother thousands of dollars to open a restaurant, when Billie herself needed financial assistance, her mother refused to help. In her autobiography, Lady Sings the Blues, Holiday recalls how in the course of the row she uttered an old proverb, "God bless the child that's got its own." The singer's anger over the incident with her mother led her to turn this line into a starting point for this iconic song. "Them that's got shall have, them that's not shall lose." So the Bible said, and it still is news. Mama may have, and Papa may have, but God bless the child that's got his own. That's got his own. Yes, the strong get smart while the weak ones fade. Empty pockets don't ever make the grade. Mama may have, and Papa may have, but God bless the child that's got his own. That's got his own. This story and these lyrics bring tears to my eyes. They're hardly high praise for the Christian heart. Indeed, in 1939, America, you better have been able to stand on your own 2 feet because the Depression was raging and survival of the fittest was in full bloom. Matthew 25:29 was the verse of the hour. For whoever has will be given more, and they will have in abundance. Whoever does not have, even what they have will be taken from them. That's Jesus for you, allegedly proclaiming a gospel of privilege. God blesses the blessed. Except that God doesn't bless the blessed. And this cultural misconception has continued to cost us dearly, even to this day. Emerging from the 40s and 50s, Pentecostal churches throughout America began preaching what became known as the prosperity gospel, a movement that teaches God blesses those who have faith with health and wealth and success, and that poverty and sickness are signs of a lack of faith. According to this theology, God desires individual believers to be prosperous in this life, and that material successes are signs of God's favor. The more righteous one is, especially with regard to money and the church, the more blessings are destined to come your way. Think about the great televangelists, Oral Roberts, Joel Osteen, Jim Bakker, T.D. Jakes, even Andrew Carnegie and Russell Conwell, the founder of Temple University, all preached this prosperity gospel. God paves the way for the righteous to achieve material success, and conversely, those who are successful have found special favor with God. God paves the way for the righteous to achieve material success, and those who are successful have found special favor with God. For the poor, the sick, the struggling and depressed, if you just work a little harder on your faith, if you just give a little more money to the church, all will be well. Right your relationship with God, and you will have the power to change your earthly financial future. Oral Roberts was so adept at gathering in what he called seeds of faith, dollars for the church, that if you didn't reap a 7-fold reward, he had a money-back guarantee. If you right your relationship with God, you will have the power to heal what ails you. You will have the power to manifest all the things you desire. You will have the power to succeed in whatever way American culture defines success. Just apply a little of that old-fashioned Puritan ethic. Work hard. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Apply godly investment strategies, and all things can be yours. And if you want evidence, just cast your eyes upon the rich and powerful among you who clearly have the inside track when it comes to God. I think these people scare us and intimidate us because we secretly want to be them and have that most favored status. I'm telling you, I'm telling you, there isn't a square inch of our culture that is not drenched, consciously or unconsciously, in this belief system. Well, except here, of course. How else, my friends, would it be possible for us to ignore or denigrate the poor, the hungry, the naked, the stranger, the tired, the frightened, the sick, the imprisoned? How else but to secretly believe they've brought it upon themselves? They just lacked the effort. But here's the thing. God is not the master in the parable of the talents. Jesus' impoverished, oppressed peasant followers would have been horrified by a God who would profit off of others in a world where one person's gain equaled another person's loss, where the word rich was synonymous with greed, where the very next parable in Matthew 25 is the sheep and the goats. Whatever you do unto the least of these, you do also unto me. And where tables will soon be overturned in the temple in their name. I hear Billie Holiday's anger at this injustice, and at the injustice of assuming that wealth and power are somehow blessed by God over compassion and humility and kindness. At the injustice of equating misfortune with laziness and stupidity and faithlessness. At the injustice of believing that our God is a transactional God. Give a little here, get a little there. When everyone knows we are saved by love and grace alone. Friends, there is plenty to occupy our minds these days. But this week, let's focus on our hearts. Let's reconsider our heroes, especially all the quietly brave ones like us. And put prosperity in its place where it belongs, above destitution, alongside good fortune and gratitude, and beneath the needs of those we are called to love.